Have you heard that expression, I beat the brakes off that thing? Literally, man, this truck, it's got hard starts, right? It's got rough idles. It's a fleet truck, and we all know how well fleet trucks are taken care of.
Not so much. You just want to keep them on the road and not in the shop making you money, right? So,
Amen.
Yeah, so this one's going to need a lot of work. We got some general wear and tear items, but we also have some diagnostics that we have to figure out, like why it doesn't start sometimes or slow start. So why don't we start on there? Now the good thing is we've got a lot of goodies from AC Delco to help us do the job and do it right. So why don't we start on this whole, slow starting condition, see if we can get that tackled, and we'll move on from there. All right, we got two clues with the diagnostics, right?
Yep.
We got a P0300 code, which is a misfire. So that could be something mechanical, like you're not getting compression, valves, a cam, or it could be something more in line of like an injector.
Yep.
But we also have this hard starting. So as we focus on that first, the hard starting is typically, we need our glow plug, which in combustion terms for a diesel is kind of like a spark plug, but it's just creating heat so we can get that thing to light off.
Hey, a lot of heat, super fast, right at the tip, inside the chamber.
Yeah, so if we're not getting that, we're not going to get that quick fire off. So the first thing we're going to do is just eliminate all the glow plugs as a problem because it's an easy test, right?
Sure. And I'm going to show you how to do that, man. All you need is a test light, right? And this guy just slides right in here if you could follow along. So it just slides right in here in the chamber. Just this tip is going to hang down in the chamber, heat it up super fast. But a real easy test on these guys is just to check for continuity. So you get a test light, put it on the positive side, and let's go searching for some glow plugs. So if you look at this guy right down here, I'm going to just test this. Look at that, I got light, got continuity, that one's good. Let's move over to the second one here. Got light, got continuity, that one's good. Now watch what happens with this guy. Say what?
So we've got a break in there somewhere. We're not getting continuity, it's not going to light off. So that dead cylinder from a heat perspective, when you start to fire it, it's going to be difficult, slow starting.
Right, another way, if that thing's spitting raw fuel, you got a glow plug issue.
Yeah, so I think the thing to do is pull that guy out, replace it, then we can go back to maybe looking for that, misfire code.
Yeah, and not only that, if we have an extra one laying around, which I think we do, maybe we could light it off on the table or blow it up, huh?
Let's blow some stuff up.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Now, we're really fortunate to have AC Delco glow plugs. They operate at a higher voltage than any other glow plug on the market. They're a GN regulating type coil inside this actual glow plug. And what that's going to do is regulate that voltage from the battery so it doesn't overheat. Now, that's exactly the test I'm about to show you. All right, so what I'm going to do, I've got a 12-volt source, okay? Got it hooked up to the negative, a little positive here. And as soon as I touch this guy to my positive, you're going to see this tip go to about 1800 degrees in an instant, in a second, all right? Literally, this thing gets cooking crazy fast. Now look at this, boom. Now you'll see that tip go all the way down into the plug, and that's the exact same thing that's happening inside your combustion chamber. Kind of cool, right? You ever seen a glow plug operate?
Hey man, I heard you were grilling, and I brought some mini sausages.
Yeah, man, I got that.
I like mine spicy. All right, man, let me get back to work.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you guys follow me over here. We got some more diagnostics. All right, now while Willie's over there cooking us some lunch, I got the old glow plug out and the new one in. Now, this is actually part of diagnostics for this engine. Now, if you put current in here, it's going to heat up the tip, right? Like we just showed you. Well, that changes the resistance. Well, the computer is actually following the resistance of each one of these, and it's using it for diagnostics. So if it's running cold, the resistance is saying, hey, I probably have a misfire. So now that we fixed that one glow plug, I ran the engine again, and I got a new code telling me specifically which misfire cylinder it is, and it's number 3. So I got a P0303. So that really dials me in to this injector right up here. So I'm going to dig in there, pull that guy out, show it to you on the bench. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive headfirst into more of this diesel injector technology. Hey, welcome back to our 2005 Duramax diesel project. Now, this girl has over 300,000 miles, but she ain't done. Now, we are fixing a misfire problem, and that's the result of this injector. Not this one, but the old one. Let me show you how this thing works. So you got fuel coming in here. Typically on a PFI engine, 55, 85 PSI. This guy's riding at 4,000 to 22,000 PSI. And it's squirting out this end at holes that I can't even see, typically around 9, 11, really fine mist, so you get good clean combustion. Now this one we've torn apart, so you can see the solenoid right here that sits on the back. Now that's disconnected from the needle that's in here that opens and lets the fuel flow. So what it's doing is it's opening, letting the fuel run down the body, and actually somewhere midstream of this injector, it pushes and opens it from a spring-loaded position and lets the fuel squirt out the end. Now this little fella right here, sometimes a ball, in this case, little bitty cylinder. Now that's what's being rammed in 2 to 10 times per cycle, per combustion event. So this guy will wear out and is probably the culprit for why this guy has gone bad. Now you can see this is a reman, so somebody's already replaced it and it's already gone bad. So a good reason to use a quality name like AC Delco to throw it in there and do it right. Now I'm gonna get this one, actually the new one, back in the truck, and then we're gonna keep on moving because I see some kind of old cruddy brakes sitting right here. Gotta fix those too.
All right, like we told you, over 300,000 miles on this truck, mainly all on these rotors. Huge lips on these things. They're hammered. Let's get them off the truck. In comes AC Delco Professional Series rotors. Big difference. This heat dam right here, one of the big major differences. Now this is going to actually keep that heat out here on the rotor and out of these veins right here where you want that heat so it disperses, right? Where you want to keep it away from is this hat, which is coated with this bonded material. It's going to help that heat management anyway. So another thing I want to show you is just the veins in here. Now a lot of you will probably be suspect of what's called lightweight rotors. Now be careful when you're out buying rotors because what's happening are guys are skipping out on this material, this mass right here, which is going to help, again, protect you from that heat damage. And what they're doing, spreading these veins out a little bit so when you first look at the rotor, it appears the same thickness, not at all the same amount of material as something like this AC Delco Professional Series. AC Delco is OE standard and actually improved with things like this heat dam. Now we got to get this guy up on here.
All right, I leave him to do all the heavy muscle work, and I'm going to show you, even though this isn't the cooking channel, a little bit about spaghetti, or some people call brake pipes or brake lines. Now this truck is great because it's been in the South, so all the lines are in pretty good condition, nothing's corroded, but most of you guys that are up in the north, or even you guys that are sort of towing maybe boats in salt water, you're dipping in that corrosive environment, you can wreak havoc on the underside of your truck. Now what's cool is AC Delco has, you know, on these trucks from 99 and up, all the lines pre-bent, ready to go, which saves you a ton of time and money and energy just to get them replaced. It's much safer because you're not splicing in somewhere where you shouldn't. And what's cool is they're upgraded. They've got a traditional copper lining in here, traditional coating on the outside, but they're a double layer with a nylon coating on them, so they're gonna last forever. Now, we're gonna get this done. These I don't need, thank goodness, but we're gonna take a break. We got more goodies to show you on the technical side. Now we're still cranking away on our 2000 Duramax diesel. This guy has over 300,000 miles on it, and I'm going to show you a little tip to save you some money. Now this is the fuel module. Now this guy doesn't have a pump in it. You know, like a typical PFI engine, that high pressure diesel pump sitting on the engine is actually pulling all the way up there. But it does have, you know, a lot of features in it, and if you have to replace the whole thing, it's rather expensive. Now sitting on this is your fuel, you know, gauge sending unit. Now this is basically a little rheostat. It's printed on there with a special coating that changes resistance with the level of fuel. But what happens is over time sulfur can eat away at this printing, and it can make you kind of read maybe a 1/8 fuel no matter how much fuel you have in there, so it can really leave you stranded. Well, not replacing the entire assembly from AC Delco, you can get just this little sending unit, and it literally clicks right in there.
How many times does it happen to you? You're in your four-wheel drive, maybe you find some happy mud, a little snow or something, you hit the button and all you get is a blinking light. It won't go into four-wheel drive. All right, you were bamboozled by the 4WD, hoodwinked by the actuator. Well, that's the problem. Something like this, it's obviously got a road miles and a lot of grime, dirt, debris, water, and so forth. This guy has gone bad. We noticed that right out of the gate. Fortunate for me, we got the drive shaft out, and this thing is ready just to pop right out of here. Now this is the 4-wheel drive actuator, the dirty little sucker too. All right, now this is exact OE replacement from what was on the truck, brand new, all right? Now, want to clean the seal up here, but nothing to it. Save yourself some money getting it done yourself. Again, factory plug-in, all good to go, exact same thing. And this replaces that old lever that you used to shift for all of us old-timey guys. So we'll get this thing back up in here, bolted in, and hopefully that will solve our 4-wheel drive issue. 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and 3.
Hey, welcome back. Now the last thing we have to do on this truck to help it get that, cold starting is some new batteries and apparently a workout.
Yeah, man, we missed the gym, so.
Well, you catch up with me. 109?
109,
Yeah,
2,
110.
3.
All right, so these guys are gonna have the cranking amps to turn this motor over faster, get it lit off quicker. That's why we have 2 batteries in a big diesel truck like this, really high compression.
Yeah, man, and a couple things to point out. 800 code cranking amps, that's nice. Another number you want to be aware of is this little 115 RC. Now that's reserve capacity. Super important. Now it basically means it draws 25 amps for about 115 minutes. You can leave your headlights on, side markers and everything for like 115 minutes. Pretty awesome.
Well, now we got 2 batteries, so about 4 hours almost. But that's important because modern vehicles, right, they have 50 to 100 processors on them. Modern GM cars have up to 7 Wi-Fis going on. So
Crazy.
You got to balance the cold cranking versus the reserve capacity, but check your owner's manual to know that.
Yeah.
Now these are great because, right, awesome construction, super durable for a truck like that. And what's cool is AC Delco, they obviously supply GM as OE, but they're also the biggest non-GM for applications out there. So we're gonna get these things in. This guy is just about ready to go out for some test driving again.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time we're out of time.
Take care.